Do you have a final message for our listeners? Any parting words that you'd like to?
Well, tell me about the listeners. Who are the listeners? Tell me about the audience.
Oh, the audience. Well, gosh, I don't know. That you really stumped me with that question, Jason. You know, I'm bringing in people like you, and the reason why you're going to be the first guest on this podcast is because you're somebody who has played by your rules, and you have very clearly worked to achieve your own definition of success, which evidence is abound in this interview, I think. And I'd like for people to see through you parallels in their own lives. Like not for them to do the same thing that you're doing, but for them to give themselves permission to listen to whatever contrarian voice might be in their head or whatever new way they might have of seeing something, and to give themselves permission to go forth with it.
Yeah. I think that then if that's the sort of the goal of the show, I think the most important thing, and it took me a while to realize this in my own life, is just to be completely true to yourself and recognize that, like, you got to get to know who you are, and then you got to just live that life. And I don't mean like give up, or that's not what I mean by just live that life. But what I do mean is that if you believe in doing things your way and that don't compute with the rest of the world, do things your way, because like you know yourself and that's how you want to live. If you want to take a certain chance and everyone else thinks you're crazy, but you believe in it, then do it. Like you really have to get to know yourself and answer to yourself versus letting other people define your own limits and your borders. So I think that's, I mean, it's a little bit of it's a little self-helpy, which I don't like about it, but I mean, it's really true. Like, you've got to get to know yourself. And something I hear from people when I speak and they're like, oh, I want to be like you guys. I'm like, no, you don't. You want to be like you. You want to be like you, because acting is hard. Mm-hmm. Acting makes you have to hold a bunch of things in your head about a different state of the world that is not natural to you. And once you stop acting, then everything becomes a lot easier. And you may succeed and you may not, but at least you're being honest and true to yourself. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that, because I know sitting across from you, you're somebody who I followed online for so long, and I was always watching what you were doing and reading what you wrote and things, and you know, eventually I had to find my own way of doing things. I know that I'm not Jason Fried. I'm not going to do things the same way that Jason Fried does things.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
Yeah,
you shouldn't. You should do things the way you do things. And I think there's a lot of copying in our industry, and I think there's a lot of people who try to be someone else. And this is probably not even just in art. I think this is just in the world, right? And yeah. I think the earlier you realize that that acting and playing a part is really hard, but being yourself is really easy, then like you should take the easy road. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's actually the more honest road. And I think that you'll ultimately be happier at the end of the day. So that's my advice to people. That's
great parting wisdom for everybody. Thanks so much for meeting with me. It's been a huge honor, and I think that's going to be a huge help to a lot of the listeners out there. So thanks so much.
You. And let me say this too. I think your show has a lot of legs, because you're a really good interviewer and you have really good deep questions and original questions. So I'm really excited to hear all your future interviews.
Hearing that from you is fantastic.
Well,
thanks so much, Jason.
You bet. Thanks.
So there we have it. Before I go, I gotta ask, do you like books? If you do, I'd love to send you my book recommendations. About 90% of them will be nonfiction on subjects spanning from biographies to neuroscience. Just go to Kadavy.net/reading and make sure you put one more trailing slash on the end of that URL. Sign up and you'll get my first set of recommendations right away. You'll be supporting the show if you buy any of those books through the links in the email. This has been Love Your Work, and I'm David Kadavy. The theme music for this show is See in You, performed by The Album Leaf, courtesy of Sub Pop Records. Love Your Work is a production of Kadavy Inc.